Rentals Club members. Thanks for joining us today. I'm with Christina Coutan. She's the co-founder of flOasis. And in 12 months, she and her team managed to launch a platform, a website where people can list and find unique places out of the big cities. A great promotion value in COVID times, but in 12 months, really? So let's dive in right straight away to know more about flOasis, to know how they did it, and also to understand how they get the supply. Christina, hey, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, thank you for having me today. This is very exciting. So hopefully I'll share something that would be valuable for the audience. And yeah, let's start. Very excited to be here.
I'm the one who's excited because I think these are amazing times for you. I mean, you've just launched officially, I think, flOasis. So maybe could you tell us a bit more about who you are, what you do, what the company does?
Sure, yeah. So indeed, we launched just 2 days ago after 12 months of ups and downs. I'm Russian. I have Russian roots and I'm based in Lisbon. So our team is remote. Other co-founder Lola, she's based in Paris right now. Other team members are in the Netherlands and Spain. So that's the whole idea of, being remote and building something really cool for the community of remote workers. So basically flOasis, it's a platform, as you said, to book and share unique stays, to work and live at your best. And that's where the whole, the name comes from. So it comes from flow and oasis, so that, our goal is to actually empower people to find an oasis where they can flow, basically, right? So what pandemic taught us is that a lot of jobs can be done remote right now. People don't want to go back to the office. And I can talk more about like future of work and what it's going to be. But what is for sure is like, okay, we're not going back the way it all used to be. And also what a lot of people realized during the pandemic is that staying locked in four walls, right, at home, or like, just a co-working, there is a struggle to unplug, right, to unplug from the screen. There is a struggle to connect. So there's a whole disconnection thing going on these days. So basically with flOasis, we wanted to make sure that anyone who works from a laptop, at least a part of the year or a couple of days, in a week, they can choose what truly works for them and what serves them to live at their full potential. And we come from a perspective of, we don't have to be working and having fun separately, right? We can have all at one. So when you actually go into the platform, you could see different types of experiences. Like imagine you could go to Tenerife or Portugal and do surfing part of the day, and the rest part of the day you'll be productive, having your workspace, Wi-Fi, and other remote workers around you, or you want to just chill by the beach or by the pool somewhere in Spain, or I don't know, some kind of mindfulness practices, yoga, meditation sessions. So yeah, it came from the perspective of, okay, we built this thing for us, first of all, because we're also remote workers, and for all our community and all the people that are gonna shift to remote work in pretty soon. Yeah, just going and choosing what serves them the best.
It's very fascinating, Christina, so to hear this. And to your point, right, remote working is something that a lot of companies used to be like, you were, I guess, a remote worker, you were not. And now we see a lot of big companies like Google, Twitter, for example, telling their employees that they can be remote workers part of the year, of the whole year. So suddenly it's not an either or, right? Suddenly for maybe, as you said, right, for a couple of weeks, I can be a remote worker and I don't mind doing this in a cool place where I can be in contact with nature, by a pool, or maybe where there's also like-minded people, which is the other part, I think, of what you're proposing. That's pretty, so it's a great idea. There's a need. I mean, and you said you did this in the past. I also, I remember spending a month in Chiang Mai 6 years ago with other entrepreneurs, remote working. But it was like, now it's, thanks to COVID, last 12 months, it's been like on everybody's lips. But You did, instead of just thinking, talking about it last 12 months, you and your team have been busy launching flOasis. So how, and that sounds a bit crazy. Of course, it looks like it was time to do it, but how do you go from 0 to 1 in 12 months? I'm very curious to hear about this.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, that's been a ride, as you can probably imagine. But it is. I'm very proud to say that we built this together with people, with our community. So even before building, the first step for us was like, okay, let's go and let's talk. Let's talk to our friends who are remote workers. Let's just go out there and ask everyone what they truly need and what they're missing. So we started, we did a CASDEF. We had a huge survey towards more than 200 remote workers. And then we identified and saw, okay, yeah, there is a need and there is specific criteria that they're looking for when booking a stay. Plus, there are like extra nice to have criteria that would make their experience even better. So that was like a starting point. And then we, of course, started growing our community of our partners and ambassadors. So we have a big community of pioneers, more than 400 by now. And these are people with the same values who actually go and test our stays. And this is a big part also of what flOasis is, right? Because we do want to guarantee, and as a remote worker, I know that like I don't like surprises when I come somewhere to be productive and work, and well, it doesn't happen for me. So that was a big part of just gathering like-minded people around us. And of course the team who made it happen, who believed in the idea. And since then, meetings every day, every hour. I remember we had our first kickoff meeting in August last year.
August last year.
Yeah. August last year, exactly. We had an idea. So idea came to be in July last year. And then in August, we were like, okay, let's do it. And then that's where, there were less restrictions in Europe. So we managed to fly to Spain and spend awesome week together, like brainstorming and like daydreaming what kind of product we want to have, what kind of community. And then, then there was the question of like, okay, we need people who would help us to actually build the product. And we found really cool guys in Vietnam with the headquarters in Australia. So since then, they've been helping us with, with building the platform itself. And I guess, this is like super high level, but I would say that for the last 12 months, it's just like-minded people around you, believing, hearing back from them, knowing that that's exactly what people are looking for and waiting for. And, that's what helps you to push forward.
And you as a CEO, co-founder, what kept you awake at night? What was the biggest thing on your mind? Pick one.
I don't know. Probably making an impact. That's something that always I've been driven by the idea of how from just creating something, you can actually impact people's lives, but for better. It doesn't come from the perspective of ego, as it, I don't know, might sound, but indeed, allowing millions of people to use something that you've created and having their best lives. That's indeed what motivates me a lot.
That's fascinating because this impact and vision, right? It's actually great because that's why it keeps you up at night. You have this on the guest side, but I guess probably as well on the I say for a bad word, but supply side, by which I mean like maybe the homeowners or investors or companies that you're working with. So we know this year is also a year where people are struggling to find supply. Big platforms are fighting, Airbnb versus Vrbo versus the others. But on your platform, you're talking about quality, about avoiding bad surprises. So it means probably you're not for everyone in terms of supply, right? So what kind of supply are you looking for and you think is successful on your platform?
Yeah, so I guess it would be when I say community, first of all, I don't just mean the guests, I also mean owners, because this is a huge part of our success, and that was also one of the problems we're solving, meaning that a lot of during the pandemic and even pre-pandemic, well, the whole hospitality industry was already pivoting to midterm rentals. And with the pandemic, of course, we saw that a lot of property owners are struggling with getting guests. And that's where we're happy to guide them through the process of maybe turning to longer stays. Right now on the platform, we have different types of accommodations, from like co-livings that's, are familiar with the whole remote work industry, to like bed and breakfasts and just local stays. Some of them never worked with, remote, or never hosted remote workers before. So this is also very exciting, because we built a very personalized relationship with each one of them, and we help them create, the best environment to accommodate remote workers and to best match, the best like guest with the host. Because what we also realized is that for accommodation owners, it's not only just getting a guest, it's like, okay, what kind of guest I'm getting, right? How the guest is contributing or like integrating with the whole space I've built. So to answer your question, where we find the supply, I mean, I guess there is like no new way by now. So we use, we're searching for great gems. We also have a lot of leads coming from our community. So our pioneers and just remote workers, they also travel, and they had been traveling for a while. So a lot of the times they get back to us saying like, hey, this is a cool flOasis, potential flOasis, go check it out. We started getting organic inquiries, because what I also feel is we don't want to be just a big platform that invites anyone. We want to build relationship, we want to build community, and that's what speaks to the people. So we see that more and more people get back to us, like with the same shared values. So I guess, yeah, these are the three main channels for us right now.
It's very interesting. And so let's imagine maybe as a remote worker or as a, somebody with a space that's great for remote workers. I want maybe to know more about flOasis. What's the best way to reach out to you, Christina?
Sure. Any potential flOasis can drop us a message at join@flOasis.io. You can also just go to our platform, flOasis.io, and there is a dedicated page how to become a host. So we'll be happy, to take you through the process from there.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Christina Coutin. You're the co-founder of flOasis, just launched actually in less than 12 months. Congratulations on your launch and good luck for the rest.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.